Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the first class of Geography. I represent IQCivils IAS Academy, and my name is Anuj Singh. I am the co-founder of IQCivils IAS Academy and also a faculty of Geography, Economics, CSAT and Ethics with the Institute. Now, today we are beginning the Geography for General Studies, and I would like to give an introduction today to the overall scheme of geography which features in the UPSC examination, and then we will begin the study of exact syllabus. Okay. Now, geography combined with environment and ecology is a very important subject in UPSC, both in preliminary examination as well as mains examination, and also it has lot of importance in the personality test of UPSC. Okay. So, it is one of the major subjects along with history, political science, public administration, and many students all over India who are aspiring for civil services examination, they take geography as an optional subject also. And what we have seen in the last 10 years in the arena of UPSC that many students from geography optional, they get very good ranks, and most of them are IAS or IPS officers, and certainly it's not only important from the examination perspective, plus also it draws lot of interest from students who specifically like to read conceptual subject. Geography is very conceptual. Now, if I want to bifurcate the concept versus the theory in geography subject, I would simply say that around 40 to 45% of the entire syllabus of geography is very conceptual, and the remaining 50 to 55% syllabus is theoretical, means that you have to memorize it. So, conceptual subject, when you read, once you read the topic, it is not easily forgettable. You don't have to revise it again and again. So, that's why many of the people who are from science backgrounds, many people who develop interest in geography after they start preparation of UPSC, they opt for geography if they love the concept, and very interesting subject. Of course, I consider geography as the mother of all subjects, because any kind of history or any kind of political science, any kind of public administration has evolved only after there has been the birth of our earth. So, the birth of our earth is very important. Uske bina we cannot attribute any reason for any other subject. इसलिए मुझे लगता है कि जो geography subject है, it draws the most attention among all the subjects, and it is the mother of subjects. And definitely, if you read geography, if you develop interest, chances are that you will score very high, okay, in the UPSC examination. And if it is your optional subject, definitely yes, you will get lot of marks if you have studied the subject very seriously. Now, coming to the importance of geography in the UPSC scheme of examination. Now, in the preliminary examination, a regular trend every year has been noticed that 25 to 30 questions minimum are coming from geography and environment and ecology. Then in the mains examination, geography along with environment and ecology features in paper 1, and also it features in paper 3, okay, paper 3 of general studies. Now, paper 1 of general studies along with geography has history and social science, so some questions come from social issues. Now, if you ask me the weightage as in the paper 1, so I would say that out of 20 questions which are subjective questions which are asked in UPSC mains examination, in paper 1 you can easily expect 7 to 8 questions coming from geography. Okay. Now, there is no environment and ecology in paper 1 of general studies in UPSC, but definitely environment and ecology becomes the core subject of paper 3 of general studies. Okay. So, paper 3 of general studies has environment and ecology along with economics, disaster management, internal security, and science and technology. Okay. So, it is a very dynamic paper, the paper 3, and most of the questions which have been observed in paper 3, they are coming from current affairs. Okay. So environment and ecology, you can easily say that out of 20 questions, you can expect 7 to 8 questions come from environment and ecology in paper 3. So overall, if I combine paper 1 plus paper 3, we can expect 200 to 250 marks of questions which come from geography and environment and ecology combined together, okay, combined together. Then definitely the essay paper, which is one of the most prime papers in general studies. Now essay paper will get you at least 2 to 3 topics from geography and environment and ecology out of 8. So definitely geography has applications in multiple subjects, and in essay paper you can expect that you will get around 30 to 40% of the topics coming from geography plus environment and ecology. Not to mention that certainly geography plus environment has applications in multidisciplinary essays as well, okay, so which has become the trend now. So multidisciplinary essays क्या होता है कि उसमें आपको multiple subjects का content लिखना होता है, so multidisciplinary approach in UPSC has become the trend now. It has become the new voice of UPSC, and definitely students who excel in multidisciplinary approach, they tend to get very high marks in UPSC. Now the same multidisciplinary approach applies to the long answers apart from essays. तो आपके जो GS 1, 2, 3, 4 पेपर्स हैं उसमें भी आपको मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी अप्रोच अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा अगर आपको हाई स्कोर करना है और एक इंटरव्यू कॉल लेना है यूपीएससी में, ओके. सो डेफिनेटली मेंस के पर्सपेक्टिव से भी काफ़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है geography plus environment and ecology, and then definitely in the interview or the personality test, geography holds its own importance. And moreover, if you have taken geography as an optional, then certainly you will get a lot of questions from geography coming in your way, no? But even if you have not taken the optional, still you can expect at least 30 to 40% of the questions coming from geography plus environment and ecology in your personality test as well, which is combined of 275 marks. So you can see that geography has a lot of importance in all the 3 stages of UPSC examination, whether it is prelims exam, whether it is mains exam, or whether it is the personality test. Now in brief, I'll talk about the syllabus of geography which has been laid down by UPSC. Now what we do is we simplify the syllabus, and also what we have seen in the last 10 years is that not exactly what is mentioned in the syllabus is followed in the question paper, so there are some deviations, and definitely something which is mentioned in the syllabus and what comes in the question paper, they have shown deviations. That's why I will talk about our understanding of geography syllabus of UPSC general studies, okay. Now see, paper 1, as I talk about, first I'll talk about the mains syllabus. Now paper 1 of general studies, okay. Now most of the questions, they come from general geography, okay. So there is a term called general geography. So general geography क्या होता है? General geography is nothing but it is the conceptual geography, okay. For example, how rocks are formed, what are the different types of rocks, what are rivers, how rivers are formed, what are the different types of rivers, what is a glacier, what are different types of glaciated landforms, what are the different types of desert landforms, how are they formed, what are lakes, how are they formed, what is the coastline, what are oceans, what are rivers, what are seas. So such type of questions which apply concept irrespective of you are in India or you are studying about any of the continents, such geography is called general geography. So general geography से काफ़ी questions हमको मिले हैं, and it is because UPSC is more keen on testing your concept, okay. But one more trend which we have noticed in the last 5 to 6 years is that geography has become a current affairs subject as well, So in paper 1, what UPSC is doing these days is that they combine your concept with the current affairs. For example, let's say there is a cyclone in the Bay of Bengal in India, for example, and it hits the Odisha coastline, it hits the Andhra Pradesh coastline, and one such cyclone came recently, couple of months ago, and this cyclone was named Amphan, Okay, Amphan. Now there is a different story of naming the cyclones, of the nomenclature of the cyclone, कि cyclone को name कैसे किया जाता है, उसके ऊपर ही UPSC ने एक question पूछ लिया था. Now you can understand, UPSC in 2013, I am talking about a cyclone which came in Odisha. It was named Phelan. Okay. Now they did not ask anything about Phelan. They did not ask how cyclones are produced. They did not ask the mechanism of cyclones, but they asked surprisingly that what is the nomenclature of the cyclone internationally, how cyclones are named internationally. Very surprising, and I don't think many people knew about it, but certainly in our classes we talk about the nomenclature of cyclones, and it's a very interesting topic, So it is an international convention of naming cyclones. तो UPSC हमको ऐसे सरप्राइज करता है, अब कहने को तो वो साइक्लोन का टॉपिक ही था, it was a topic of cyclone, but hardly 5% of the people can expect that UPSC will ask a question on nomenclature of cyclones, तो अभी क्या हो गया है कि जो ट्रेंड है वो ये है कि आपका जो कॉन्सेप्ट आप पढ़ते हैं, बुक्स में पढ़ते हैं, जो कॉन्सेप्ट आप न्यूज़पेपर्स में पढ़ते हैं या फिर मैगजीन्स में पढ़ते हैं, तो वो कॉन्सेप्ट आपका जो करंट अफेयर से अगर रिलेटेड है तो डेफिनेटली वो आने के ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं. मोरओवर, इफ इट इज nationally and internationally important, if that topic is nationally and internationally important, it will be definitely asked. Okay, so one is general geography, तो मैंने आपको बताया कि it is the conceptual geography. Now part 2 of paper 1 syllabus of geography is Indian geography. Okay, Indian geography. तो once आपका concept clear हो गया, you know about rocks, you know about rivers, you know about oceans, you know about glaciated landforms, desert landforms, and so many other things. Now in Indian geography you study the application of those concepts. तो हम क्या पढ़ते हैं? Application पढ़ते हैं. We study the application of those concepts. Okay. Now Indian geography means physiography of India. Definitely very, very important. So physiography means, for example, Himalayas in the north, the great North Indian plains south of Himalayas, the peninsular plateau region south of the Great Plains of India. Then we have the desert in the northwest, and then we have the peninsular plateau extending into northeastern part of India. So physiography of India certainly very, very important. Okay. Then we have the coastal plains and the islands of India, for example Andaman Nicobar and Lakshadweep. Okay. So physiography पढ़ते हैं कि different landforms कैसे originate हुए थे. Now what is the status of those landforms? Are they undergoing erosion or are they undergoing some kind of deposition? तो वो पढ़ते हैं physiography में. Second aspect of Indian geography is the rivers of India. So rivers में सिर्फ नाम जानने से नहीं होगा. So in rivers you have to study about the origin of the rivers. Where do they originate? Are they snow fed or are they rain fed? ठीक है, तो स्नो फेड का मतलब ये होता है कि क्या बर्फ के पिघलने से रिवर ओरिजिनेट हो रही है? Is it because of the ice melt that the river is originating, or it is originating just because of excessive rainfall? Okay. Now further we study about the different tributaries of the river which form the main river, and in which areas is the river providing its benefits. Okay. And then there are different subtopics which are connected with rivers. For example, irrigation. Irrigation का मतलब होता है artificial water supply in a region. जहाँ पे पानी का प्रॉब्लम है, ड्रॉट का प्रॉब्लम है, पानी की स्कैरसिटी है, वहाँ पे इरिगेशन फैसिलिटीज गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा प्रोवाइड की जाती है. ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल कैनाल इरिगेशन इज वन ऑफ द वेज to provide water to such areas which face lot of drought like conditions. For example, in eastern Rajasthan, in northern Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana, western UP, यहाँ पे बारिश इतनी नहीं होती है, there is not much rainfall, but with the help of irrigation certainly we grow so many crops and in so much amount that the entire country is fed because of irrigation, canal irrigation. That is one type. So when we read irrigation, we'll read lot of other types also. So what I'm trying to say is that one topic leads to many other topics, so rivers has many connected topics, then certainly in the current times river pollution has become a very important topic, you know. So it is a subtopic under water pollution, and definitely our rivers, lakes, our coastlines, and then Arabian Sea in the west, Bay of Bengal in the east, Indian Ocean in the south, they have certainly been polluted because हम industrial effluents को discharge करते हैं water bodies में. We discharge the industrial effluents into the water bodies, and certainly marine life is affected. You know, you see, rivers feed the oceans. Rivers actually feed the oceans, meaning that rivers, when they flow from, for example, Himalayas, but ultimately they discharge their water into the oceans. तो अगर आप rivers को pollute करेंगे तो definitely oceans भी pollute होते हैं. Okay, so rivers another major topic है. Then topic like industrial geography, वो भी बहुत important है. Now industrial geography में बहुत सारे sub classes हैं. For example, you have to study the minerals of India before understanding the industries. We should know coal, iron ore, limestone, petroleum, you know, any kind of mineral, zinc. So we should know कहाँ पे पाए जाते हैं, कितने quantity में पाए जाते हैं, last 5 to 6 years का trend क्या है, is there any illegal mining associated with such minerals, you know, and in which industries they are fed as raw materials, you know, उसका पूरा supply chain समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. तो industrial geography में right from raw material extraction we are concerned about the final or the finished product as well. Okay, so another aspect, industrial geography से काफ़ी questions आते हैं pertaining to India. Okay, then another major topic is transport and communications. Now it has an overlap with the rivers. Now not all the rivers are considered to be efficient transportation network. You know, for example, river Ganga in India, which flows from Uttarakhand and finally drains into the Bay of Bengal after passing through West Bengal and Bangladesh. Certainly it has become the most important national waterway of the country. Okay, so Allahabad to Haldia, Allahabad in UP to Haldia in West Bengal, that has been demarcated by the government of India as the national waterway 1. You know, then we have national waterway 2, Brahmaputra, another major river which is considered the life source of northeastern India. It flows through Arunachal Pradesh, enters India through Arunachal Pradesh, then finally flows into entire Assam before exiting into Bangladesh and finally combining with Ganga and meeting the Bay of Bengal. Okay, meeting the Bay of Bengal. Okay, so transport and communications national waterways हैं, national highways हैं जो roads हैं हमारी, फिर railways is another important area. Then we have the airways, we'll study about the airways, the rules and regulations which are associated with all the transportation networks. You know, what is the current scenario, because India is still developing, so definitely all the transportation networks, whether it is waterways, whether it is highways or it is the railways or the airways, they all are developing, and definitely we should be right on top of the knowledge in terms of where they stand currently. Okay, so transport and communications बहुत important topic है. Definitely it's mostly current affairs. So concept के साथ साथ हमको पता होना चाहिए कि अभी currently उसमें क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है, तो उसके अलावा geography में आपका important है another concept. You know, for example, if I say Indian geography, for example, if I say that why in India there is population pressure, you know. अब population जो topic है वो population geography के अंदर आता है, but recently हमने last 3 to 4 years में trend में notice किया है कि population geography से बहुत questions आते हैं. हालांकि आपको लगेगा कि एक social issue है, definitely it's a social issue, but again it's an overlap with geography. ठीक है, तो population geography में हम क्या पढ़ते हैं? For example, माइग्रेशन इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. दो टाइप का माइग्रेशन होता है. एक तो आपका लोकल माइग्रेशन होता है, ठीक है, स्टेट टू स्टेट. यू नो, फॉर एग्जांपल देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु हैव माइग्रेटेड इन सर्च ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एजुकेशन एंड बिजनेस फ्रॉम यूपी एंड बिहार टू स्टेट्स ऑफ केरला, सदर्न स्टेट्स ऑफ इंडिया. इन सर्च ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट मोस्टली लेबर माइग्रेट करता है, एडुकेशन के लिए लोग माइग्रेट करते हैं मेट्रो सिटीज़ में जहाँ पे अच्छे अच्छे कॉलेजेस हैं, बिजनेस के लिए माइग्रेट करते हैं विलेजेस से सिटीज़ में जहाँ पे उनको बिजनेस अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है, ठीक है। और एक माइग्रेशन होता है इंटरनेशनल माइग्रेशन wherein the person leaves the country, you know. So many of us, India has a big diaspora, you know, it has a big diaspora all over the world. So we have a lot of Indians in USA, Canada, Australia, United Kingdom, France, Australia. So many Indians are there. So definitely international migration भी उसी purpose के लिए होता है that we require good education, or we require good business opportunity, or we required a good employment opportunity. Okay, so definitely population geography बहुत important है. तो मैंने एक aspect के बारे में आपको बताया. इसके अलावा there are further aspects which are important in population geography such as maternal mortality rate. अभी maternal mortality rate क्या होता है? You know, it is the death of the mother when she is giving birth to a child. You know, तो इंडिया में बहुत बड़ा issue है that healthcare is not very proper, and certainly जो MMR है इंडिया में maternal mortality rate वो बहुत high है. तो उसके पीछे कारण क्या हैं, उसके reasons क्या हैं, we need to understand which states are leading and what are the steps taken by the government to control and curb the increasing maternal mortality rate. And likewise, sex ratio is a big issue in the country because इंडिया का जो सेक्स रेशियो है इट इज़ फेवरेबल टुवर्ड्स मेन बट इट इज़ वेरी अनफेवरेबल टुवर्ड्स वुमेन, यू नो, पर्टिकुलरली इन द नॉर्दर्न स्टेट्स ऑफ इंडिया. नॉर्दर्न स्टेट्स ऑफ इंडिया, फॉर एग्जांपल पंजाब, हरियाणा, दिल्ली, राजस्थान, यूपी, मध्य प्रदेश, patriarchal society dominates, you know, and because of patriarchal nature of the society, you know, there are a lot of inappropriate crimes which have been committed towards women, you know. For example, female feticide, जिसमें आपका जो female बच्चा होता है वो inside the mother's womb is killed, you know. So when they get to know about the sex of the child even before the child is born, although it is illegal, but illegal activity होती है इंडिया में तो उसको वहीं पे मार दिया जाता है. I just giving you one example. Female feticide है, sex सेलेक्टिव अबॉर्शन है, उसका फीमेल फिटिसाइड जैसा ही है, यू नो. तो बहुत सारे इश्यूज हैं जिसमें हमारा जो नंबर ऑफ मैन नंबर ऑफ वुमेन पर 1000 मैन इज फेवरेबल टुवर्ड्स मैन. तो 1000 मैन के कंपैरिजन में जो हमारी वुमेन है वो 1000 से कम ही है, यू नो. सो मेनी स्टेट्स आर स्ट्रगलिंग विद 800, मेनी स्टेट्स आर स्ट्रगलिंग विद 850 वुमेन, और मेनी स्टेट्स आर स्ट्रगलिंग विद 900. और जो कुछ ही स्टेट्स हैं जो सदर्न स्टेट्स हैं इंडिया के, उसमें आपको विमेन का नंबर वाइज डोमिनेंस मिलेगा, यू नो. वो इसीलिए होता है क्योंकि वहाँ पे सोसाइटी मेट्रियार्की है. सो सदर्न इज मेट्रियार्की, ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया इज अगेन मेट्रियार्की, बट वेस्टर्न इज न्यूट्रल, एंड आई वुड से द नॉर्दर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया इज सर्टेनली मेल शॉविनिस्टिक society. So definitely predominance of males, both number wise as well as in terms of decision making, males dominate. Okay, so population geography एक बहुत बड़ा topic है इंडिया का, and certainly it has an overlap with social issues. And interesting बात ये है कि the social issues and geography they are combined into paper 1 of जनरल स्टडीज़. ओके, पेपर 1 ऑफ जनरल स्टडीज़. तो डेफिनेटली पॉपुलेशन ज्योग्राफी से भी बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, नो. सो ओवरऑल मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि कॉन्सेप्चुअल ज्योग्राफी को जब हम कंबाइन करते हैं करंट अफेयर्स से, एंड हम करंट अफेयर्स को ज़्यादा लाइमलाइट में लेके आते हैं, तो आप वहाँ से ज़्यादा क्वेश्चंस एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं पेपर 1 में. ठीक है, तो पेपर 1 इन टोटल इट इज़ ऑफ 250 मार्क्स. ठीक है, एंड यू कैन ईजिली एक्सपेक्ट फ्रॉम ज्योग्राफी you can expect at least minimum to minimum 80 to 90 marks. ठीक है, so 80 to 90 marks is easily coming from geography in the paper 1. Okay, so topics which are trending currently I just spoke about. Now when we talk about the paper 3, okay, paper 3 in mains, now the main important topic which comes from geography discipline is environment and ecology. Okay, environment and ecology. अब आप देखो, understand this, environment and ecology is considered the most important contemporary subject right now, most important, because simple सी बात है कि we have been through industrial revolution long back, around more than 250 years पहले industrial revolution हो चुका है world में, and the world to satisfy their materialistic requirements, you know, they have done excessive and unmindful urbanization, they have done extensive industrialization without paying heed to our environment. Our environment includes our water bodies, our forests, it includes our plant species, it includes the animal species. तो हमने ये नहीं सोचा कि हम कितना ज़्यादा डैमेज कर रहे हैं नेचर को, बट विदाउट दैट our incessant or continued need for materialization, which is manifested in the form of industrialization and urbanization, has been achieved. But at what cost? At a big cost to our environment. But we forget that once we deplete our environment, it cannot regenerate all the time. Okay? So environment and ecology, particularly since 2000, the year 2000, it has become extremely important. Okay? Now the most important aspect which is touched upon in environment in paper 3 of mains examination of general studies is biodiversity. ठीक है, biodiversity बहुत important है. Now biodiversity, if I want to define, I will simply say that it is the variety and variability of the biotic beings on the surface of the earth. Biotic matlab living, variety and variability. Now variety means that Homo sapiens, we humans, certainly are different from cat family, we are different from dog family. So it means that every kind of species is different from each other. Are you getting my point? Okay. So that is variety. And what is variability? But each of the human is different from another human in terms of the genetic makeup. तो जेनेटिक मेकअप में हम आपसे डिफरेंट हैं, आप अपने फ्रेंड से डिफरेंट हैं, यू आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम योर टीचर इन द स्कूल, यू आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम योर टीचर इन द कॉलेज, no, so we are different from each other genetically. So if I combine variety plus variability, that will complete my definition of biodiversity. Are you getting my point? Biodiversity. Okay. Now now understand this, you know, biodiversity, why it has become important, because over the last 100 years specifically, you know, the developed nations of the world such as USA, Canada, Western European countries such as France, Germany, United Kingdom, Belgium, Netherlands, you know, now they have altered the scheme of our atmosphere. They have emitted so much carbon dioxide because it's a byproduct when you manufacture steel, when you produce power, when you produce cement. So definitely there are harmful gases which are emitted in the atmosphere. So what it has triggered, carbon dioxide, excess carbon dioxide has brought about global warming. Okay, global warming. Now global warming means the temperature rise beyond our requirement. We don't require this unnatural temperature rise. But what unnatural temperature rise has done is that it has altered the course of many species on planet Earth, both plant as well as animal. Okay? For example, polar bear in the Arctic. Now polar bear survives on ice sheets. Ice sheets पे रहता है. अब global warming से क्या हो रहा है? Overall global temperature is increasing, and because of that the ice sheets are melting. The summers in the Arctic, they are becoming longer, winters are becoming shorter. So अगर ice sheets melt हो गई तो polar bear कहाँ पे रहेगा? There is no livelihood, there is no home for the polar bear. So धीरे धीरे करके it has been noticed that the numbers of polar bear in the Arctic has gone down. Okay, so big damage, right? It's a big damage. So biodiversity is linked to the climate change. You are understanding the linkage, right? So अगर climate change होता है तो वो हमारे धरती पे भी इम्पैक्ट करती है, हमारे अर्थ को भी इम्पैक्ट करती है, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट इम्पैक्ट many of the animal and also plant species, they are vulnerable, and many of the plant species and animal species among vulnerable category have gone extinct as well, you know. So 2% के रेट से per year हमारा जो biodiversity है वो ख़त्म होता जा रहा है. It's a big damage, you know. So that's why biodiversity बहुत important topic है, you know. And another important topic in environment, as I told you, एक linkage मैंने बताया था biodiversity का climate change के साथ. Now climate change is definitely it is the increase in global temperature. तो इसके लिए एक जापान में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई थी, एक प्रोटोकॉल साइन हुआ था, क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल. इसका नाम है क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल. ओके, इट्स देयर इज अ प्लेस कॉल्ड क्योटो इन जापान. सो क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल के हिसाब से हमको ऐसे मेजर्स लेने हैं nationally. Every country has to take a measure wherein they have to reduce the emissions of carbon dioxide in atmosphere and thereby globally हमको जो अर्थ का एवरेज टेम्परेचर है उसको 1.5 to 2 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड से रिड्यूस करना है. कितना करना है? 1.5 to 2 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. तो क्योटो प्रोटोकॉल हैज बीन देयर फॉर मोर देन 2 decades now and there are annual conferences held to revise and review the performance of each of the participating countries and then to also formulate the new plans for the future. But target क्या है कि जो excess carbon dioxide हमने emit किया है, the excess carbon dioxide which have been emitted particularly by the developed nations and also now by the developing countries like India, China, तो हम उसको curb करना है. We have to reduce the quantum of emissions of carbon dioxide so that we can keep the global rise in temperature checked. Okay, checked. So climate change बहुत important topic है. तो Kyoto Protocol के आपको conventions के बारे में जानना है. We have to remember that what are the different developments every year in the conferences which are held under Kyoto Protocol. Okay, and there are many other things here. The United Nations is taking a lot of steps towards curbing the industrial polluting industries. उनको curb करने के लिए green टेक्नोलॉजी को कैसे पेनिट्रेट करवाना है, ग्रीन क्लाइमेट फंड क्या होता है. तो देयर आर सो मेनी कॉन्सेप्ट्स व्हिच यू विल रीड इन climate change. So anything which is related to current affairs in climate change definitely is the most important for paper 3. Okay, paper 3. Now another important topic in this paper 3 is definitely pollution. पोल्यूशन तो पूरे वर्ल्ड का फेवरेट टॉपिक है, बट इंडिया और चाइना स्पेसिफिकली नाउ दे आर लीडिंग इन टर्म्स ऑफ causing multiple damages because of pollution. Now pollution is not only of one type. It is water pollution, it is land pollution, air pollution, okay, noise pollution. तो सारे टाइप के पोल्यूशन इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इंडिया में वाटर पोल्यूशन में द रिवर्स हैव गॉट so much unclean because of discharge of industrial effluents that now the government for the last 2 decades it's talking about cleaning of the rivers. But clean करना इतना आसान नहीं है because rivers are huge, they are giant body of water. But definitely measures तो लेने पड़ेंगे. गंगा को आपको clean करना पड़ेगा because there are millions of people surviving because of Ganga. There are millions of people who are dependent on river Ganga for drinking purposes, for cooking purposes in the house. There are millions of people who are dependent on Brahmaputra in northeast India. There are people who are dependent on Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri in southern parts of India. So definitely, आपने गंदा कर दिया, we have dirtied the rivers, but now it is so imperative that we clean up the rivers, no matter how many decades it will take. So pollution में what is important कि pollution होता कैसे है? What is the major cause of pollution? Okay. Now there is one topic which you will read in pollution. It is called eutrophication. Eutrophication का मतलब होता है जब हम डिस्चार्ज करते हैं इंडस्ट्रियल एफ्लुएंट्स को लेक्स में, तो उसके ऊपर एक ग्रीन कलर की लेयर बन जाती है एल्गे की. तो ये ग्रीन कलर की लेयर क्या करती है? इट एब्जॉर्ब्स ऑल द ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द रिवर वाटर और द लेक वाटर, एंड बिकॉज इट इज एब्जॉर्बिंग ऑल दैट ऑक्सीजन, द रिवर लाइफ विच इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन द वाटर देयर and indirectly is dependent on the oxygen which is contained in the lake water will die. Eutrophication another problem, another huge problem. So pollution के बहुत सारे manifestations हैं. हमको causes जानने हैं, current status जानना है pollution का in each of water pollution, land pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, and what are the effective measures which the government is taking in curbing that